What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode number 66 now of the Leeds United career mode. And in this episode, we start off season number 4. The Premier League champions are ready to defend their title. You'll see in this episode the new boys joining the squad, including the likes of Anthony Martial, 87 rated striker that's hopefully going to come in and do the business for us. We are also do, in fact, have our first games in the pre-season tour as well. So, as always, if I get through to the final, you'll be seeing some gameplay in the episode. If I don't, you will not, unfortunately, see any gameplay in today's episode. So you just have to wait and see if we do, in fact, get through to that final. Although you can tell by the thumbnail that you obviously know that we, in fact, have got to the final. So you will be seeing some final gameplay in this one against, I do believe it's Leverkusen, coming up towards the end of the episode-ish time. You can see that a lot of the pre-contract players have arrived at the club. You'll see me going and show you them in the squad report right now. You can see the overalls as to what they are. If you want to check them out any further, then just pause it on the video and you'll be able to tell and see what they are. So Pereira coming in, 84 overall, pretty sweet right back in all honesty. I'm very happy with that one. Then we do have Bruno Martins, Indy, 82 overall centre back as well. Pretty decent signing for him. Then we've got, I do believe, a CM or a right midfielder rather in the form of Suso. I forgot that we'd actually signed Suso into the team as well. Probably not going to play all that much for us in all honesty. Then we have Emre Can and Lewis Baker. Two very, very good players in my opinion. Obviously Baker with the 5-star weak foot and Can is just an 86 rated player, which is incredible already to get for free. And then obviously we've got Anthony Martial, needs no introduction, going to play up front for us, not out on that left. Along with Adnan Januzaj, obviously, as well from Manchester United, coming in and is going to replace Alex Iwobi, who we will be looking to sell, 81 rated on Adnan Januzaj. Not too bad, if I do say so myself. I'm very happy with that one. We also have Ross Barkley there, 87 rated as well, 48 million pounds in worth, coming over from Everton to be our, I think that's the last pre-contract signing there we've actually managed to sign. You can see the players we've got in the club when you guys suggested as well to sell like Remy. I was already doing it during this episode, so you know, I mentioned it in last episode about what should I do with him, and it was actually episode, I do believe, 2 episodes ago now, that one of you guys suggested we should sell him, and another one of the suggestions were actually Renato Sanchez to try and bring him in. Now, I didn't know he actually went to Liverpool, and I didn't know he was going to be 85 overall when I was looking at him, so that's pretty incredible if I do say so myself. So if I can get him into the team, I'll certainly try, but it's another person has actually suggested me to buy someone else. I can't quite remember who it is. It won't be in this episode. It will have to, unfortunately, be in the 2 episodes' time, because I've actually recorded this one and episode 67 already, so I do apologise, my man. I have seen your comments, and I have seen what you guys want me to do, so I will be looking to be able to sign a couple more players, and I will definitely add any suggestions that you have to our shortlist. I'll look at bringing them in and when the time is right. So you can see here me just going through the transfer list really and listing the players that I do think will not get game time here in this season 4 leagues. We obviously got a better team than we had last season, so it's going to be tough for players to get on the lineup here. You can see as well Felipe Augusto, one of the players who arguably was a very good servant for us, has actually been transfer listed, and that's only down to the reason that we've got Lewis Baker now, and we also have Emre Can. So I just don't think that Augusto is going to get into the side like he used to do. You know, he served us very well on the pre-contract agreement when we signed him into Ellen Road here. But I do believe that his time has now come, and I do want to see him playing football, so that's the reason I transfer listed him. Along with the likes of Murphy, okay, and I think Calvin Phillips only just escapes the drop. I think we kept hold of Phillips just for now, because I wasn't sure as to what I was going to do with him, as to whether or not I was going to sell him. Costinha and Iwobi both transfer listed there. We obviously have Suso, so we don't need Costinha anymore. Suso and Green will be the 2 right midfielders, and then on the other side we've got Januzaj, and we have, I do believe, Anthony Martial can play there if we do in fact need it, along with Divock Origi as well. He's been playing there for us last season. And then we obviously got the likes of Sacco, El Ghazi, who can play right midfield. I've kept hold of Sacco because Sacco's going to be one of the guys that I do in fact use. You know, he holds a special place in this series, doesn't he? Let's face it. He's been a good servant. He's scored us vital goals, along with Kemar Roofe as well, who actually transfer listed in this one. I'm going to get rid of Remy. I'm going to get rid of Kemar Roofe, and the only reason I went for Kemar Roofe over the likes of Chris Wood is because I just felt as though we already have a lot of pacey strikers here, but what we don't have is a target man, and I felt as though Chris Wood could just stay on and possibly come on if we ever needed a headed goal or something along those lines. You know, we've got pacey wingers, we've got pacey strikers, we don't need more pace. So Kemar Roofe, unfortunately, was the man I decided to transfer list. You can see here as well, went in for Renato Sanchez. Liverpool came back and said they wanted £72 million for the Portuguese centre midfielder. I unfortunately don't have that kind of money. I can't be splashing money like that left, right and centre. Just don't have anywhere near enough money to be able to make this transfer happen. So if we do make it happen, it's going to have to be from selling a number of players here and then possibly offering a player as part of the deal to try and make this one happen. But you know, if we ever get it to happen, he'll be a good player for the club. I actually was looking at Renato Sanchez last season, but I didn't have enough money back then. So the fact that I haven't got enough money yet, again, it's a problem. But, you know, it's one of those things. As you can see here, we do take on Leverkusen, and I do sim it. We win the game by 2-1. There's a number of sim games, obviously, before we get through to that final against Leverkusen. I won't really talk too much about the sim game, because it just bores me to sit there and talk about sim games and stuff like that. But I can tell you, we do, in fact, get all the way through to the final, and you will be seeing the gameplay of that to come in this episode as well. So, the plan for this series then, guys, or the season now rather, we are in the Champions League now, which means I do want to make a couple more signings. I don't quite know what positions I want the signings to be in yet, because I feel as though we've got enough strikers, I feel as though we've got enough centre midfielders, I feel as though we've got enough, well, left back and right back. You know, we've got the likes of Pereira, and obviously on the other side of that we've got, who is it? I can't remember, what's his name? Miguel, there we go. That's obviously the youth academy player. Then on the other side of that we've got De Siglio and Joe Gomez, the left back and right back. In my opinion, I personally think we only need to sign one more player, and that's going to have to be a centre back. So leave me any suggestions that you guys have for a centre back in the comments. We've obviously got Hernandez and Vertonghen. Martins Indy's joined them this season. We've also got Reece Oxford. Now, Oxford's probably not good enough yet to be able to play Champions League football, and I don't really want to use him in the Premier League either, so I do want to get another 80 rated centre-back into the team. So leave me some suggestions in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think I should do in terms of that one. I think for strikers now, we're pretty much covered. I think for left mid and right mid, we're pretty much covered, you know, with the fact of Suso and Green for the right-hand spot. And then you've got on the other side of that, the left midfielders of Januzaj. We've obviously got Januzaj, Origi and Martial. So left mid, we're pretty much covered. In terms of cams, we've got Ericsson and Barkley, arguably two of the best in the business in that one. And then in terms of the CDMs, we've got ourselves Dendoncker, Baker, and Emre Can. So that's three there. So I think for squad depth, we're pretty much covered now, guys. We just probably need one more centre-back, and I'd be happy with this team going into this next season for the Premier League and obviously the Champions League as well alongside that. So I'm very, very looking forward to this season. You guys leave me some suggestions about centre-backs that you want to see me try and sign here. And you can see we're just offering it, or accepting deals rather, for players that are just fringe players, the ones that have transfer listed. Iwobi, 4.8 million, looks like he could be heading over to Germany to play for FC Cologne. Another player on his way out was Luke Murphy, £700,000 offer for him. And another player that was not on his way out was Anwar El Ghazi, £26 million offer for the top scorer in the Premier League. That's a joke, in my opinion. So I instantly rejected that and said, hell no. And I made sure that no other offers could come into the club for him. But we did take on Inter Milan, the Champions League winners here in this American Cup, and we actually got through 4-3 on penalties. So I was very happy to get through that game, in all honesty. We played a weaker team, and the fact that we managed to get into these final here on penalties, I was very, very happy with that one. A few of the players selling on, and we also get a transfer offer here for Vergara, who actually loan listed, 25-year-old. Didn't want to get rid of him in case we needed him, so I just decided to get rid of him on loan. And in that way, he'd still get some first-team football, and he's actually on loan for 2 years, which means we do have the option to recall him as well. Kamaru, though, very good servant for the club. He looks like he's on his way out and heading over to QPR to play for them. 2.5 million. I'll take that deal every day of the week, and it's very nice as well because he will be getting some first-team football still, which he probably wouldn't do here at Ellen Road with the abundance of attacking quality that we have already at the club. You can see as well, we go into this game here against Leverkusen, in my opinion, as favourites. That is the team we named, pretty much the strongest possible team that we could have named out of this one. I decided to give Martial a start. I also give Anwar El Ghazi alongside him, along with Origi playing out on the left. Now, Emre Moore is going to be a tough one this year because I do personally think that Emre Moore has been absolutely wonderful for us. However, who do I drop, or who do I let, where do I play him? Do I play him out on left and drop Origi? Do I play him up front and possibly drop Anwar? Do I play him up front and drop Martial? I just have no idea. Or I could just always bring him on in games and alternate him with Anwar and obviously Martial, and just, give as many game time as I can to each player. But at the same time, I do not want to lose Emre Moore. I don't want him just sat on the bench. I want to keep him playing his football here at Ellen Road because he was very good for us last season. I don't want him to not be playing anymore here. So I wanted to make sure that he can obviously get game time. You can see two players making their debuts here. I think as well I make like 6 changes during this game as well. Pretty much bring on the entire bench and change them round, which you'll have to wait and see how they get on. Taking on Leverkusen here for the final of this, pre-season tour. Not too bothered about results, in all honesty, because it's only a pre-season tour. At the end of the day, this means absolutely nothing to me. Yes, it's going to get me a little bit, possibly £2 billion more, but this, this time in the game, it really doesn't matter that much anymore. £2 million. Yes, back when I got into the Premier League and we was only given like 14 million, it meant a bit, but now we've got 34 million. I really don't care about an extra 2 million. It's just the fact of getting to see how the team would perform as a team, and on top of that as well, we would be able to see, in fact, how Martial would get on in his first game. But it was actually Leverkusen who got off the perfect start in this one. Very good effort for them to take the lead here, but Leno was equal to it. A very poor strike in the end. Then it all struck disaster for Leverkusen. Jonathan Tah, beaten for pace by Anthony Martial, wins the ball but takes the man at the same time, and with him being the last man, that's surely going to be a red card. I felt so bad for Jonathan Tah because he had no other option than to try and get the ball off Anthony Martial. He got the ball, but he took the man along with it, and it's just the pace of Martial which honestly just made that so easy for the forward to get in there. So I can't believe the fact that he's been sent off, but at the time I was thinking that's, the right decision. Also, guys, our players have pretty dumb squad numbers, so I will go ahead and I will change the squad numbers of these players and probably give them a few different squad numbers. Anwar's number 10 at the moment, but let me know what you guys think we should do in terms of the other players. I want to give Martial probably number 9 in place of Chris Wood, who actually holds it at the moment. What a strike that is by Anwar, by the way. Crazy goal from El Ghazi. That just shows you how much quality he's got. He's definitely going to keep hold of that number 10 shirt. And then we've got number 7 as well, who I'm going to decide someone to give that to. Joe Green's number 14 at the moment, so he's going to keep that. But who should I give number 7 to? Should I give it to Ericsson? But at the same time, 31. It's just stuck with Ericsson. He was 31 last season. I'm probably going to give Emre Can number 8. There's a number of squad numbers I want to change. So let me know who you guys think should have the number 7 shirt, who you think should have the number 9 shirt, and who you think should have the number 8 shirt. In my mind, I'm thinking Anthony Martial, give him number 9. And then I'm thinking in my head as well that we should give number 7 to Emre Moore, and then also number 8 to Emre Can. But that's just me. You guys can suggest whichever players you want to get each shirt, and let me know what you guys think we should do. But Joe Green there making it 2-0 inside 50 minutes with the number 14 getting us the second goal in this one. A very lucky goal at that as well. Came off a rebound, and then even then the keeper gets a good hand to this one but can't keep it out. Very, very lucky that ends up in the back of the net, but I'll take it every day of the week. In all honesty, Leverkusen were struggling. They were down to 10 men, and at this point, when you're playing against 10 men, although it's on Legendary, it becomes so easy to break the computer down. And because they were already losing the game at this point, they couldn't sit back and bring on another central defender. So they actually played with 3 at the back and tried to get themselves another goal by keeping the same formation. You can see here we make a number of changes. Januzaj comes on at left midfield. I think we bring on Suso as well to play right mid. And then we also bring on, I think, Baker. He comes into the CDM spot. Barkley comes on in place of Ericsson. And I think that was all I did, actually. So only 4 changes there in that one. So kept the 2 strikers the same and just made an abundance of changes to see how the other players got on, the new ones at the club. I only wanted to try out the new ones. I wasn't really interested in the likes of Emre Moore and Origi. I wanted to just basically try out the new guys. The only one I didn't try out was Martins Indy in the end, but Martial here, into the 68th minute we went, and a very, very nice teamwork goal here, as it was then very well finished by the likes of Adnan Januzaj. What a goal this is. I'm actually going to give him the number 17 shirt, because obviously Iwobi, when he does leave, will vacate that shirt. So Adnan Januzaj will be number 17 for next season. That one's I know for sure, but the other ones I'm a bit unsure about, so let me know what you guys think we should do. But very good finish nonetheless by Adnan Januzaj. A great left-footed strike in off the post, and I couldn't have asked for more after he came on off the bench, which is a very, very good finish from a player who can quite honestly probably wouldn't have been getting into Manchester United side, but he's getting into this Leeds United team, and we won the Premier League last season. So it's very, very weird the fact that they didn't extend his contract and make sure that he was still a Manchester United player. But having said that, they didn't do it with Anthony Martial either, and we've obviously got hold of him. So very happy that they didn't do that one either. So yeah, the Frenchman comes into the club for free, effectively, and he's got so much quality. I would have been paying up most of 50+ million for this player if I was trying to get him, for money. But Suso on this right-hand side now takes a strike on, very well saved, but it falls to the path of Anthony Martial, who gets himself on the score sheet. 4-0 today, 84th minute. Looks like we're home and dry and cruising in this one, and possibly going to pick up the first final victory of the season. It's a very, very small one at that, but I'll take it every day of the week. It's another £2 million in the transfer budget, which, like I said, isn't really too much, but the fact that we're absolutely battering Leverkusen here by 4-0 shows how much quality this side have right now. So I'm looking forward to our Champions League debut. Obviously, we got into the Europa League last season. Oh, not last season, sorry, the season before, when we first got into the Premier League, but unfortunately we were knocked out of the group stage in that one. It seems so long ago, actually, as we make it 5 there in the 90th minute. It seems so long ago that we're actually playing Europa League football, but we were at one stage in the Europa League when we didn't even get through the group stage in that one. So I'm hoping we don't have a repeat of that in the Champions League. I'm hoping we can get out of the group stage and at least make this interesting for myself and you guys to watch as well. We have a very strong team, and I personally think we can go possibly to the semi-finals. I'm going to say semi-finals. I won't say final just yet. But I firmly believe we'll be able to make it into the semis. If we don't make it to the semis, I'll be slightly disappointed. But at the same time, for our debut season, as long as we make it out of the group stage, I can't be too disheartened either. But semi-finals is where I'm going to aim for this Champions League season. Hopefully, we managed to get there. As you can see, we did actually smash Leverkusen by 5-0. Very comfortable victory in the end. Januzaj getting the score sheet after he came off the bench. And I do believe there was 5 different scorers there as well. So that's good to see as well. But it was a commanding performance. In all honesty, when Jonathan Tah got sent off, I really didn't, doubt the fact that we were going to win that game, and we won it comfortably. In all honesty, you can see there we absolutely battered them in terms of match facts. You can see as well that Hernandez actually got man of the match, which is very weird to see a defender getting man of the match in a game where I didn't really have to defend, which is a bit like what the hell. But anyways, it sometimes happens. You can see Adnan Januzaj actually played at an 8.8 after coming on after half time, pretty much. So that's very good as well. Joel Green playing at an 8.3, Emre Can playing at 8.4. Joe Gomez playing 8.1, so some very good performances all around across the board for the team, and I'm really looking forward to this season and trying to defend our Premier League title as well as the Champions League. But other than that, we are coming towards the end of the episode. Like I said, please drop some comments in the comments below and let me know what you guys think I should do in the relevant topics I have explained today. Also, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We upload twice a day, 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock UK time, respectively. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Career Mode, and as always, I've been Danny, and I'll catch you all later. Adios!